I've been using the Insta360 X3 for over a year now, since before it came out really, and it's become by far my most used camera of the year. But now it's been a year, I've worked out what it's great at, what it's good at, and its weaknesses as well, because there are some, and I am going to share them with you now in an updated review, and I'm going to show you a lot of the footage and the kind of special shots this camera can take in this updated review, so let's go. So pretty much to sum it up straight away, the Insta360 X3 is definitely the best 360 camera available right now for consumers. There are some competitors out there that are cheaper, for example the QCam 3, but I do just think that this camera beats them all, not just because of hardware, but because of software as well. The Insta360 ecosystem features the Insta360 app and desktop software. These allow you to create some special effects that are quick and simple, but look really awesome, particularly on social media. But we'll get more into the app later. I really want to focus on the footage that you can shoot with this camera, because you can get some really awesome shots. I'm going to show you some here as I talk about the camera. So I found the X3 overall very easy to use. It's light, it's portable, it has a lot of different video modes. Some of my personal favorite video modes to shoot in include HDR video mode, great for during the day when there's a lot of overexposure, the sun's very bright, you can get some color and some contrast back into your shots. The time shift and time-lapse modes, these have been a feature of pretty much all Insta360 cameras, so not much has changed there. But particularly the time shift mode, which is a stabilized kind of hyperlapse effect, is really, again, simple to create, just requires you to walk around with the camera for 5 to 10 minutes, and the app will automatically create these super fast motion effects. The quality of the footage is decent because of the half-inch sensors. If you remember, these are an upgrade from the last 360 camera from this company, and even compared to most other consumer 360 cameras, the half-inch sensors are larger, and I have found that to be pretty accurate. I mean, let's face it, no 360 camera works amazingly at nighttime, but the X3 does a decent job for a camera of its size and type. You do have to go into the manual mode and select the right settings. I have a whole video on how to do that on my channel, but once you do that, you can get some really crisp nighttime shots, particularly when there's a lot of artificial light around, and particularly now during Christmas time, there's going to be a lot of cool lighting effects all around the world. This camera will be a pretty awesome one to shoot those with. Now, I've particularly enjoyed using this camera while traveling. Now, a lot of people like to take action cameras while traveling. They want something small, compact, and to capture, you know, the experiences, the environments that they're going to see that they may never see again. Now, I could take a GoPro. I have a GoPro Hero 12. I could take that. I have a pretty decent phone, a Samsung Galaxy S23. But every single time I want to capture something, I reach for this camera. And you know why? Because you don't have to think about what you're shooting. You literally just extend the selfie stick, raise it in the air, maybe behind your back, maybe to the side, and then you just have to press the shutter button and walk around, and that's it. You do all the editing later in the day, at night, when you're in bed, when you're back home from your vacation. And you can do that time and time again. You can make several different videos from the same clip. But to be fair, that also applies to all 360 cameras as well. But what I like about this one is its versatility with all those video modes. One video mode that the X3 has that I've found myself not really using is the single lens mode. Now that is where you use one of the lenses to shoot normal non-360 video, and that can be done at 4K resolution. And while I think it's a good addition, it means the camera is a 2-in-1 camera. It can shoot 360 and normal video. I just never feel the need to switch to that. I mean, whenever I want to shoot something that's not in the 360 format, you know, just a normal video, then I'll probably just get my phone out, because it's just going to probably be higher quality and I'll have more control, and, you know, you won't have to fiddle around with the editing after. So yeah, for me, the single lens mode I've not really used. Nor have I used the Me mode, which is the option in the single lens mode, which allows the camera to automatically keep you in frame as long as you use this invisible selfie stick and you extend it to at least around about a meter and a half away from you. It automatically keeps you in the center of the frame, and I do think it's a really innovative use of this 360 camera, but I've not found myself using it that much. Now, obviously, there are some downsides to the camera as well. I'm not saying it's perfect. It's definitely not. By far, the biggest issue is how vulnerable the camera is. These lenses are very easily scratchable, and if you scratch even just a tiny little bit, then the camera will pick that up and it will kind of ruin all of your shots. In order to replace these lenses is difficult, it's expensive, you have to send the camera away. Insta360 does have a care option where you can buy it with the camera and then they'll replace or repair it for free, but that's a little extra cost and not everyone's going to be able to afford that. But yes, it's definitely the number one issue is how vulnerable this camera is, and it will be expensive to repair. There's also a question of how waterproof the camera is. Now, a lot of people say they have problems. The camera breaks when they take it underwater. The camera is supposed to be waterproof up to 5 meters without any need of any case. But that is dependent on you making sure every single one of these little doors is shut, that there's nothing in there, there's no grains of sand or dust or any paper or anything that's gonna stop these doors closing properly. If anything like that happens, then the camera is going to break. So I have used it underwater many times without a case and it's still working. Never had a problem. But it is risky. It's risky to take any technology underwater without a case. But thankfully, Insta360, since the camera came out, have developed a waterproof case that works perfectly with shooting 360 video. There's no stitching line. This was not possible before. The previous waterproof cases didn't work very well. You could see the case in the image, you could see the stitching line, you could see the base of the case as well. So this new waterproof case actually works amazingly well. It's honestly the best underwater footage I've seen shot with any 360 camera, and some of it is truly amazing. Like, I think this will be an amazing use of this camera if anyone goes diving or snorkeling at any length of time over the next year. It's definitely worth getting this camera with the waterproof dive case. So yeah, I've taken this camera hiking, swimming, climbing. What else have I done? I mean, a lot of walking, running, cycling. Did I say cycling? Can't remember. Anyway, I've done a fair share of activities, but what I haven't done, to be fair, is the more intense stuff like paragliding or skiing or cross-country cycling, you know, those kinds of things. This is where the stabilization of this camera really takes, really shows its power. But I haven't done that. However, from what I've seen from people on the Facebook groups, on Instagram, this camera works very well for those activities as well. However, so do most other 360 cameras in the last 5 years. They're all pretty amazing for intense action sports shots, those kinds of things. Now, I mentioned earlier, I shot a video course this year, basically entirely with this camera. It's a course about how to use Insta360 cameras to, shoot interesting, unique shots, viral shots, how to get the most out of the camera, how to get the best quality, basically everything you need to know. And you can see some of the shots I did for this course here. Some of these shots are possible with other cameras, some of them aren't. That it's so easy to create these kinds of shots with the Insta360 camera, mostly because of the editing software. The Insta360 Studio and the Insta360 app are just by far the most innovative, the most feature-packed software for 360 cameras. No other company comes close to the kind of stuff you get in the app and the desktop software. Not only is there a full reframing center where you decide where your camera's pointing at any one time, it's really easy to use. It has a lot of options, a lot of features. For example, split screen, you have a tracking option, you can color correct, you can add music, you can add special effects, you can add text. It's basically like a full video editor in your phone. Not that you may want to have to do all of that in your phone, but the options are there and they're just not there with any other camera software. There's the option to reframe using the gyroscope in your phone, which is a very quick and easy way to get a more natural looking shot. I've made a full video about the app and literally it's like 20 minutes long, so I'm not going to go into every detail here. But suffice to say, regardless of the camera options, the camera quality, the size, the water resistance, that's all fine. But really what makes the Insta360 X3 better than the rest so far is the software, is the app specifically, but also the desktop software as well. Admittedly, it can be buggy, it can crash, it's a bit difficult to learn everything. You do really need to spend some time learning all of the stuff, but there are a lot of tutorials in the app as well, and you do need a powerful phone to use all of the features. So if you have a phone that's 3 or 4 years old, probably not going to cut it for a lot of the stuff in the app. So yeah, I don't know what else there is to say really. I do really think that this is a content creator's dream, particularly for B-roll. If you have something like a DSLR or a small mirrorless camera that you like to capture your high quality footage with, I think this would be a great companion for that. The sharpness and the quality of a 360 camera is never going to match up to something like that, like even your phone or a DSLR or a mirrorless camera or even a GoPro Hero 12. The nature of the 360 just means it's not going to do that, but with the kind of unique shots you can get, creative shots, the kind of content you cannot make with any other kind of camera, the stuff that I've just been showing you all through this video, if that is what interests you, then I do think a year later, this is still the camera to beat. It's still the best 360 camera out there. And yeah, it's worth its price. And if you were to buy the Insta360 X3, you'll also have a huge range of accessories to choose from, but I guess the most important ones to buy is an invisible selfie stick like this. There are a couple of lengths and sizes available, and also this, the Insta360 Reader, which allows you to more smoothly edit your clips, your footage on your phone. You just put the SD card in here and then you plug it into your phone, and it just allows the phone to more rapidly read your footage and edit without any lag. So I think those are the two accessories, the bare minimum you should get, and if you want anything else, check out, there's about 50 different things available on the website. So guys, I guess that's it. That's what I've been doing, shooting with my Insta360 X3 for the past year, and an Insta360 X4 is probably going to come, but it's going to be next year. I would say September, October next year. So thanks for listening, guys. Thank you for watching all of my X3 videos. If you want to check out that video course that I mentioned, the link will be in the description below. I've had some good feedback so far, a lot of beginners especially saying it's helped them to create the kind of shots that they want, I guess more quickly than they would otherwise, because it can be a bit of a learning curve to learn all these unique effects. So that's it, guys. I'll have some more content from this camera and some others coming soon. But until next time, I'll see you around. Bye.